Hi, I'm Peter Tragos, host of the Lawyer You Know podcast and YouTube channel. The saying goes, everyone hates lawyers until you need one. Well, I'm here when you need one to answer your questions and give you insight that you didn't know you needed. Along with my partners, Pete Sardis, the professor, who has a finance and business background, and George Tragos, my dad, and the consigliere, a criminal defense giant, we can answer any questions you have.
What's up, gang? We are here. Everything is looking good. Everything is prepared. The last 2 days have been spent hunkering everything down. Actually, not 2 days, I guess, just since yesterday afternoon. It feels like 2 days. I am all good. Everything is good right now. We're really not expected to even see any rain until tonight. And then the hurricane, if it is going to hit us, it's supposed to hit Wednesday night. So that's when most of it will be happening. We are all good. We have we have kind of a separate structure that is concrete from floor to ceiling outside of our house that I'm in right now. And that's where we will be. Everything is hunkered down. We've got the shutters on the windows and the doors. There's really only one window. There's another room with no windows, no doors that we'll be hanging out in as well if we need to with a Category 5 garage door on it. So everything is set up as good as it could be here. A little later, maybe I will take you around, show you where stuff is. As you can see, like right behind me, we've got some of our patio furniture that we've brought in from outside. Next to me, I've got here fans with lights on them, battery powered, tons of batteries, tons of flashlights if we need them, if the power should go out. So we will be ready. We have a stovetop that is run by our huge propane tank outside that also runs our pool heater and stuff. So we'll be able to cook. We've got coolers, we've got ice, we've got everything over here. And as most of you said, go get a generator. So I went to Home Depot and got one of the last generators that they have. So we've got that as well. So yeah, we've got pretty much everything as set as it's going to be. Yeah, Joe's Joyce says, dude, I'm heading to you. Yeah, we've got it all hunkered down. And some friends and family in the area may come by here if their place gets bad. The only thing that could happen here is if the flooding gets pretty bad, then we'll have to just keep an eye on that. But as far as wind and rain and stuff like that, I think we'll be fine. And we're far enough away from the water that no storm surge or anything like that should affect us. But a lot of people out there could be affected. So if you're part of this community, always keep us posted on the community page on Instagram and Twitter at Tragos Law. As long as I have power and internet, I'll be posting on there just to keep everybody updated and get updates from all of you to see what you're doing, how everything is. No reason to be nervous for us right now. We will be fine. We may be without some things for a few days, but we'll be able to live and we'll be fine. So if you're in a place where it's more dangerous, make sure. Yes, we have extension cords. We've got all that stuff. So we are as prepped as we can be. We have everything we possibly need. We've brought everything inside that we need to. So we are ready to rock and roll. And whatever happens, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it on the other side. It's a matter of time before it comes through. But hurricanes and natural disasters are things that we have to live with and happen in our world and in our states and in our different countries, depending on where you live. You may be dealing with other things like tornadoes or earthquakes or whatever it may be. But in Florida, we deal with hurricanes. And while that's bad and scary, most things in Florida are set up for hurricanes, right? I have hurricane clips on all of on both roofs. I have Category 5 garage doors. I have double impact hurricane windows. We've got everything set up for it. Thank God. I've got a huge propane tank that's strapped down with hurricane straps. So because Florida is used to hurricanes, they are prepared for it. We have the infrastructure. Everybody knows kind of disaster relief has already been sent kind of on their way. And as a functioning society, and this is an interesting time, right? Whenever natural disasters happen, I always think it's very interesting how people come together, regardless of your political point of view or whatever it may be. You don't hear anybody right now. I mean, I'm sure we'll hear it. I'm speaking too soon, but I'm sure people will complain about whatever government is running their city, county, state. I'm sure they'll complain about it. But for the most part, when natural disasters happen, people usually come together, which is always really nice. And when we do that and we all work together, that's society working at its best, right? And I think that that's something that we should strive for, even when things are good. And that's one of the really uh, big lessons to be learned through hurricanes, through 9/11, through tornadoes, through depressions, whatever it may be. Um, and for the most part, we should come together. And this is what society would be better off if we all did work together, as we see when disasters happen. But when times are good, we can't help ourselves, right? And we just have to find something to complain about. So we all do that in different ways. So hopefully we can, learn as another natural disaster. And I'm sure some tragedy is going to strike here as it comes through. Renee asked how my dad is set up. All good. And are they close by? Yes. So he is all good, but it's a little more worrisome for their house. Their house is on the water, Clearwater Beach. So, they set up as well as they can, but if there's a huge storm surge, there's nothing really they can really do to prevent that. But they've got insurance, and they're over at my sister's house, which is about 2 blocks away from me. So if need be, we can all get together. But we've got two houses here that we can all kind of gather into, which is nice. So yeah, so we are all well prepared. And when talking about how we deal with this stuff in society, I always like to have a topic of the videos, right? And just in case Maria's here, anybody wants to know what a lawyer is talking about in this section, or in this video, I do want to talk about kind of how a question a lot of my clients are asking me, and a lot of my clients are wondering, and people that live in Florida, I have clients that live out of Florida, their case may be out of Florida, they may live out of Florida, and their case may be in Florida. But either way, if you have a case, a court case, going through the judicial system right now, and Hurricane Ian is coming, there are some things to be aware of and to know that's going to happen now and in the future in your case. So right now, what's happening is, for this entire week, Tuesday through Friday, if you had a deposition, if you had a trial date, if you had a court date, it's already been canceled. Courts are all being closed across Florida, for the most part, specifically Pinellas and Hillsborough and Pasco. Those are the alerts I get. But the way this affects your case is everything basically gets paused, and it'll all have to be rescheduled. And when it gets rescheduled, there are going to be scheduling conflicts with everybody because we're already all piled up. We're still getting over delays from COVID. So the first obvious thing that's going to happen when a natural disaster comes through in a court case and through the judicial system is there's going to be delays, because you're dealing with all different parties, right? You're dealing with the court, you're dealing with the judge, you're dealing with the court personnel, you're dealing with lawyers on both sides, parties on both sides. So it's all going to get delayed, and people don't always think about that. But if you have deadlines, or if things are due and a natural disaster occurs, all those deadlines are pushed. And when we write the civil rules of procedure for through the Florida Bar, we actually put in, if there's a natural disaster or something outside of your control or acts of God, then there are additional days for anything that's due. So if you have interrogatories or discovery due, if you have to set your deposition, if that's due, then all of that will continue to be pushed out. So there will be delays, and there will be a lot of things going on with court cases when there are natural disasters. If anything happens to the courthouses themselves, to the infrastructure, everything will continue to get delayed. If anybody, it's kind of similar to COVID, right? We just went through this. So if anybody, whether it's the bailiff, the clerk, the lawyer on the case, a party on the case, there will be delays that are requested and granted liberally throughout the process. If anybody has an issue caused by this hurricane and they ask the court to delay anything in their case, the court is going to grant it, within reason, obviously. But usually they will grant all extensions that are asked for because of the natural disaster, whether it's affecting your car, your house, your way to get to work, your ability to work. If your office is closed, if the court personnel are out, then your case will for sure get delayed. I see some questions coming through here, so I'm going to answer some questions. Bev, when do we get to meet Sister Tragos? My sister started working at our office about, 4 or 5 months ago, and she is one of our firm administrators. She deals in HR and some bookkeeping and things like that. and I'm sure she'll be on at some point as we come up with different topics to talk about. I always like to provide a reason for the people to come on, not just for somebody to come on randomly. But that um, I know that you all would want to meet her. Um, yeah, Mummy Evans said the states are so well prepared for these things. In the UK, we're the complete opposite. We don't even have the infrastructure in place for snow in most areas. Yeah, and that's the other thing is we should be thankful here in Florida that we do have everything in place to be able to continue through as smoothly as possible when something like this happens. I mean that's really important. Um, let's see here. Yeah. Loretta Roth said, every disaster we have encountered, all of our family, friends, and neighbors pitch in to help. It's actually very refreshing to witness. I agree. Um, MT or M169. I will literally be working overtime this week to ensure medications ordered via mail get out on time, especially in areas affected by the hurricane. That's awesome. And I'm sure a lot of you have jobs that are really important in disaster relief and helping at some point along the chain, which is awesome. And we thank you for that, regardless of what it is that you do. So that's really, really helpful. Oh, Debbie, the judge was talking about possible closures in the Parkland case this morning. Yes. So not only will it affect the cases I'm working on and my clients out there and any of your cases that are listening, but it also may affect some of the cases that we have been following. It may affect some of the investigations that we have been following, especially in the state of Florida. You have the OnlyFans case, you have the Markel case, you have, of course, the Parkland shooting case. So a lot of cases here in Florida will be affected by this. And then what happens is when you push something like the Parkland shooting case, that takes priority. So whatever was scheduled in the week or two or whatever it is that they push the Parkland shooting case, now that case gets pushed. So it's just a constant kind of delay when natural disasters come. So just realize that and have a little grace for people in the process because they're probably moving as quickly as they can, but sometimes things are outside of our control, obviously. Mummy Evans, is it dealt with so that every case moves back in the current order? No. So that's a great question. So let's say I had a trial schedule for this week and somebody else had a trial schedule for next week. We don't just push all the trials back a week. What we do is my case gets continued this week, and next week that case goes when it's originally scheduled. We have found that it's actually easier to do that. It really sucks and is unfair and unfortunate for the one case that gets moved, but you're basically just causing a big mess in one case as opposed to all the cases. So everything else stays in place. We take this one week and we find the next open week and we slide it in there and we try to get everybody ready. One of the reasons for that is we have lawyers, we have experts, we have witnesses, we have evidence, we have things planned to happen, let's say next week. So if we were to push everything back a week, it would cause a mess in a ton of different cases as opposed to just one case getting continued, which just happened to be on the week that the natural disaster occurred. Thomas Joseph said Disney will have a few days off, right? They like never close, and I think they are closing. Ah, Daniela K said she does admin for a small firm, so it'd be nice to hear from your sister. Maybe we'll talk about a topic just like firm administration or something like that. Maybe when she gets a little more experience. She just started doing it. We're working it together because we've grown so fast. I mean, a few years ago we had 4 people at our law firm. Now we have like 15. So we have grown exponentially in the last 3 years. Um, so we're all kind of learning and growing together, putting things in place, and maybe we'll do a video on that one day, is like how to deal with growth. We'll see. Kayla, and never get a kitchen alive here in St. Pete, boarded up. Stay safe, everyone. Yes, Kayla, and you too, and keep us posted, Kayla. All right, on how you're doing. Rich Cat, I do not have any pets. I appreciate Rich Cat reaching out and a bunch of you reaching out, offering help in any way that you could, and prayers and everything that you guys could do for us. And I really appreciate all the help. We do not have pets. We do not have any animals here that we have to worry about. Just 2 little kids. Deborah Cox, yep, we have like a little safe. We'll put all of that in and some other stuff that we may need if it goes bad. We put it all in a safe and we'll bring it over here with us. Cat Pat, yes, I'm in Clearwater, Florida, Tampa Bay area. Yeah, a lot of people saying from their area, Oklahoma dealing with tornadoes, and New Orleans, we all know they've had to deal with a lot of hurricane disasters in the past. Shuttered up here in Palm Bay with being on the dirty side, Pam said. Cat Pat, I'm worried and I'm in Orlando. I've had some friends that evacuated to Orlando and it seems like they're going to get dumped on with a lot of rain. What they're saying about this case is it's also, I mean, with this hurricane is that it's slow moving, dumping a lot of rain. So it may affect the infrastructure. It may affect the roads a lot with flooding. So a lot of that is something that can affect, everyday life, including court cases if you have one. Jace, could they set a day aside for backlog cases, maybe at the weekend? So there are some criminal proceedings that have to happen, by constitutional right or by statute, and they will potentially do things on the weekends for them. Usually not civil cases. Usually not. American Dreamer said Disney's live right now. Somebody told me that the best day to go is when everybody thinks it's going to be a hurricane day. You go and there's nobody there, and hurricanes never hit us, is what people always say. I am not in that boat. I always plan for the worst and hope it doesn't crush us. But it's starting to move a little south and a little east of us, so we're already not supposed to get it as bad as we were just 12 hours ago, and we still probably have another 12 hours before stuff starts actually happening. So it could move a little bit more. We'll see. We'll just have to keep it. Going. Oh, J. Michael said Disney did close. My wife works there. Yes, I remember you mentioning that yesterday. Rachel Worf, how many bad hurricanes have you been in? Irma was a bad experience. That's really the only one I can remember. I remember a ton of hurricane days as a kid that turned into hurricane parties because it was sunny and beautiful outside with just a little breeze. I expect this one to be worse than that. I expect a lot of rain, a lot of wind, but I don't think we're going to be getting Category 4, 150 mile an hour winds direct hit right in the Tampa Bay area. It doesn't seem like. Cat Dragon, did your YouTube channel increase the firm's growth? Yes, it did have a part in it. YouTube channel's really only been around for 2 years, but about a year that it's been a pretty decent size. So it is definitely part of the equation. It's definitely part of the future, and it did increase the firm size. But we've been growing exponentially probably over the last 4 or 5 years. Okay, so around 5 p.m. they're going to close. J. Michael said. Catherine McKay, are the kids handling this okay? Scared, excited? So it's funny. It's like a roller coaster of emotions, right? My daughter was like incredibly excited. She's like bouncing off the walls, excited. And I try to tell her, like, understand, like, this is serious. We don't want to get excited. We don't want the hurricane to come. I don't want to scare her, but I want her to understand the reality of it and the heaviness of the situation, which she really doesn't. My son is bouncing back and forth from super excited to scared, and then all of a sudden he'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm really scared," and then he'll be super excited with my daughter. So he's going on a roller coaster. My daughter is flying high because she is a social butterfly and a just she's a 7 on the Enneagram, we think, where she just loves having fun and everything is fun to her. She loves doing everything, which is really fun to be around all the time. But I've got to make sure she has a grip with reality too. Zoe, which car would be the bug out car, or would you take both? Natural disasters, why I haven't converted to EV yet? Yeah, that's interesting, and people have said that. So I mean, the whole state would have to go down power wise for me to be in trouble, because if I could get to, I have like 350 to 400 miles of charge, and if I can get to anywhere, I can plug in. I can plug into a friend's house, right? I can plug into a business if they would let me, if there's power there. So I can plug in pretty much everywhere. Even, I mean, I drove around today, a bunch of places are out of gas when I got a couple gas tanks filled for the generator. And so, I mean, I don't really know which would be worse. My guess is we would take the gas car, my wife's car. We'd throw the gas tanks in there as well. That's probably what we would do. But I don't think I'd be super scared to take the Tesla. But it's a good question, and I have thought about it. That's something I'm going to do more research in the future for sure. Here's a good question, Sarah Beth. I'm sorry if you've already answered this, but what do jails and hospitals do in severe hurricane conditions? Just wait it out and hope for the best. Yes, they'll take people out if they're not absolutely for hospitals. If it's not an absolute necessity, like ICU or certain levels that they have them coded at, they will try to remove them or send them home. But they are usually in places where they would be shelters, so they're usually in really high, safe places. And I heard them talking about a couple hospitals on the way in that they have generators, and the generators are actually secured 35 or 40 feet above ground. So even if there is flooding, the generators will still kick in and things will still be running. So that is a good question. Jails have generators and stuff as well. Catherine said up in Jacksonville and already getting a bunch of storm surge warnings. Yeah, Will Call Magic said you're going to get drenched and soaked Wednesday through Friday. Most likely, that is true. Thank you, Azam. Yeah, I understand why people are nervous about it. I totally get that. There are some nerves as well for me, but we've done everything we can to prepare. But I think everything's going to be okay. Hi everyone. I hit the like button before I came in. Did you, Hermdog? Yes, thank you for reminding me. Subscribe, hit the like button, all those things if you want to. Yeah, the Weather Channel is showing it's definitely on its way. Oh, we're going to get hit, no doubt. We're absolutely going to get hit. It's just not supposed to be as direct of a hit as it was in the past. Southern Sass, what's up? Mackie Lamonaco, your channel sparked my interest in law, which I never thought was possible. Will you be doing any coverage on the Debbie Collier case? I have not seen anything on that case yet. I haven't really picked the next couple cases, especially now where I might not have power all week. It's probably not going to be a good time to dive in and research anything new. There was something I was going to watch and potentially break down, but I can't remember what it was, like on Netflix or something. I was going to download it. Yeah, Ash, make sure you get your sleep. That's the worst. Yeah, the AC and how hot it is. So what I've done is I've cranked the AC down to like 70. And while the storm is hitting us, it's not supposed to get above like 75 weather-wise. So we should be okay. But yeah, if it's a million degrees, I could deal with if I have AC, you can take the rest of the power away from me, frankly. I'll play games with my kids and my wife. We'll watch a movie on the iPad that we downloaded or whatever until it dies. I'd be fine. It's the AC that's the worst for me. So in the generator, I plan to plug in a bunch of our big fans and just blow them straight at me. J. Michael, how old are your kids? My kids are 6 and 9. Council District 1 is a new member. Awesome. Always pumped to have new members. We are going to do a members only chat again soon. Last one got screwed up. M169 said her husband mentioned the storm by its name, Ian. And she was confused because it was his son's name. Yeah, somebody posted on Twitter, or I posted something on Twitter, and somebody said, "Oh, at first I thought you were talking about Ian Runkle of the Bailey." And Ian said, "Yeah, people prepare the same way when I come to town," which is pretty funny. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, another example of people being good from Bev. Tampa Bay U-Haul is offering free self-storage for those who could be impacted. Love this. Yeah, that's awesome. That's really awesome. Yeah, Melastasi, it's ignorance is bliss, when you're little. It's good that way. You shouldn't be afraid of everything in life, hopefully. We do that when we get older. Sharon Saunders, my car is white on white. Yeah, Anne Marie Mitchell, I really love bad weather as long as I'm home and I don't need to go anywhere. I can't get over how calm Floridians are about. Yeah, hurricanes. I like a good rainstorm and thunderstorm when I'm sleeping at night as well, as long as it's not too loud. So wind and rain already hitting Daytona right now. We haven't had anything. It's literally, I mean, if I could show you guys how clear it is outside, I guess I can, right? This computer moves. I don't know if I'll lose internet, but let's take a risk. We've taken enough risks this week already and already got our first boot on YouTube. So let's just show you guys what it looks like outside here. I mean, it is beautiful. It's calm. Skies are blue. show you the blue skies. I mean, just blinded everybody that's watching with us. But yeah, so I mean, it's beautiful out here for sure. Um, but yeah, you can't. I mean, we're not hitting with literally anything. It's not even a breeze right now. Yes, I'm staying, Donna J. We've got everything in place, ready to just hunker down and deal with this. Yep, we've actually cleared out our ice buckets into bags, put it in the freezer, and our freezer's making more ice now. Let's see what else. Florida National Guard is up your way. Yeah, I saw that. I also saw though that like the statewide weather channels, they send their reporters to specific places where they think the storm's going to hit the worst, and 3 out of 4 of them are on Clearwater Beach, which isn't great. But we have so much food back there and in the closet over there. I mean, we've got tons of food here. Tons of food. Yep, Southern Sass. We've done everything we can at this point. Yes, I have talked a little bit about the Marilyn Manson case. I really don't want to. Something I don't want to do in these cases is just take stuff that's not even really an update and do a video and try to dig in and make it something that it's not. So whenever big things happen in cases, I try to jump back in and talk about them, like the Parkland case, like the Vallow case, the Marilyn Manson case, the Amber Heard insurance case. When big things happen, people usually send it to me on Instagram and Twitter right here at Tragos Law. Follow us there if you want to, and send us something. And if it's big enough to talk about, I will do a video on it. And discuss it. Mackie Lamonaco is a new member. Awesome. I think this is the first time I've seen your name in our chat, so I'm glad you joined. Yeah, Hamilton, I am taking this one very seriously. We've done everything we possibly can. Let's see. Download a few audiobooks. I have a couple audiobooks as well downloaded to my phone. Missy Rice, listening while I drive, still currently parked. Hopefully you're not evacuating Florida, because I've seen some horrible videos of traffic trying to get out of town. And it's not great. Yeah, the storm is moving a little south like it usually does when it gets to Tampa. That is true. Making landfall at night sucks. Sally hit us overnight. Recommend window units to the generator. Yeah, so that's a great idea. We don't have any window units, so we're not prepared for that. I actually am, after this one, going to get a generator for just this kind of separate structure that we have, a generator for that, because it's smaller, easier to air condition and things like that. No, it's not my first hurricane. It's been through a bunch of them. None of them have hit us too horribly though. So holy cow, your sister's on a cruise getting off the boat Friday. Wow, that's crazy. So Rich Cat, I saw this. Yeah, first in 101 years, Tampa Bay will have been hit. Have you bought yourself a lottery ticket? Beat the odds. So yes, but we've been hit before. Just that this one's supposed to be the most direct hit since 1921. Stacy Whitsitt is also a new member. Future, thank you. Praying for you all, Peter. Please be safe and keep us updated on the status of you and your family. I will absolutely be doing that. Brandy said first boot. What was that for? We played music on here that we were talking about. You know, I fought the law and the law won, and got booted. Calm before the storm. Everybody said, "Yep." Anna Lee and Christy and Lois. It's pretty blue. It's pretty blue, Sparkling Dragon. There are some clouds, but it's pretty blue. Yeah, everybody's saying calm before the storm. Oh, I'm sure it's deceiving. I know it's coming. We obviously know it's coming. You can check the radar and see. I mean, literally, I was just doing this earlier. The radar on my phone, which I frankly have for golf. That's pretty much the only reason I have for golf. So you can see the little dot is blue where I am. And it's coming. I mean, it's definitely coming, and it's big. And it's hitting. Yeah, I see Daytona Beach kind of has that outer band where somebody was saying they were there, it's raining. So it looks like it's raining pretty hard in Miami. But it's coming for us. We know it. We will be ready. I saw, yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer. That may have been the one. I saw somebody saying Jeffrey Dahmer's out there. Thank you, Noki D. Jagger. I'm not very close to the ocean. And I just got a text from my buddy who's a firefighter, paramedic, who said the predicted surge looks way better for your home after the recent update. Thank God. So yeah, we're getting updated. As long as, I mean, that's the real killer, when the phones and the power and stuff goes out and we stop getting the updates, and then it's kind of the unknown. That's always tough. But I've got a lot of contacts I always reach out to, and they keep us as up to date as possible. Yeah, I see a lot of people asking about Alex Jones. I've barely seen any of that trial. I saw some of the clips where the lawyer and the judge were getting into it. So so we may talk about some certain clips about just how the lawyers and how the judges are acting towards each other, and probably not get into too much of the content of the case because I haven't paid attention. I mean, I know it's a damages case. He already lost on liability, and they're just figuring out how much money they're giving to the Sandy Hook victims, and a lot of it is punitive. And he's filed for bankruptcy. That's basically what I know about the case. I don't know much more. Um, so but I have seen some pretty crazy interactions. If you have any clips, I like short clips, like 5 or 10 minutes to react to. If there's something big going on between the judge and the lawyer, send it to @Tragos Law on Instagram and Twitter. New Chris, I live in a region where earthquakes happen. I don't know what I would dread more, hurricane or earthquake. Can you do stuff with with earthquakes to like even protect yourself? I don't really know anything about earthquakes because I've never had to deal with them. Hurricanes don't like, as long as you are diligent about hurricanes. I mean, if you're on the water, you know that's a risk always, and that's why you have insurance for that. But like if you're away from the water in a neighborhood and you hunker down and you do everything right, and especially if you evacuate in time, like that's the one good thing about hurricanes is you can plan for them and you know they're coming. Earthquakes, it's just like happens, unless I'm mistaken, of course. Yeah, W Chop said the same thing. Hurricanes are better than earthquakes. Plenty of time to prepare. Maria, will you be covering Harvey Weinstein trial? Stay safe, and Peter and fam, sending prayers. I haven't seen, when is this happening? Send it to me. Yeah, this would be interesting to me to cover. Yes, mom and dad are staying put. Well, they're coming up this way they're at my sister's house right now, so they're up our way away from the beach where they live. If your windows and doors look flimsy, no, they're okay. They are a-okay. Chloe, thanks for the super sticker. Council District 1, off topic. Did you see I tagged you in a live stream with Emily Baker regarding the 50 Cent lawsuit? She asked for your commentary on it. Yes, I did see that. A couple of you tagged me on it. I did watch it. It was pretty funny. Happy to talk to her about it anytime. Yeah, the attorneys in the Alex Jones case are snarky. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Matthew's self. Good luck. We had a gnarly time in South Louisiana for Ida. Yeah, hit us hard, but we bounced back quick. Hope for the best. I'll drink some whiskey for you. Thanks, Matthew. Yeah, a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff that people have gone through before with natural disasters, which is why it's always like a people come together, especially if it's something you've experienced and you know how it is. Um, yeah, that to me is kind of a good theme here, that we're all in it together, whether you're in it or not. Bev, don't think about this channel over the next several days. Conserve your electricity, brain power, and sleep. We'll be here when you're able to return. Well, everything is fully charged up. So I'm not going to be wasting any resources on the channel, but if I have internet and stuff before the storm comes, like right now, maybe hop on, do a live, hang out with you guys for a little bit, and then take off. Got a few more minutes here before I have to take off today. Generous, I couldn't agree more. And we are as prepared as we possibly could be. And yeah, you guys all make it really fun to do these videos, so I appreciate it as always. We will continue on. And yeah, very safe, Sherry. Nothing's going on. Nothing's happening until probably tomorrow night. But yeah, so send me stuff. I mean, over this week, I probably will be without power from time to time. But if you guys see something that's newsworthy, don't feel bad about sending it to me. I know with serious stuff going on, sometimes people are like, sorry, but here's an interesting case, or here's something that happened in the case that you are covering. And yeah, you can send it. Follow us over there on Instagram and Twitter if you haven't already. If you see something, go ahead, send it my way. And if we can hop on it, then we will. If we can't, then we'll get to the next one. Connie, yes, we are in the line of it. It looks like we have another probably 30 hours before anything really comes our way. And Rich Cat, I will absolutely check in. I'll be on Twitter. I'll be on Twitter and Instagram probably more than YouTube because it takes less resources like you all talked about. So if you want updates, if you want to interact more through the storm and kind of seeing how things are going, make sure you get on Instagram and Twitter at Tragos Law. And if you're a new follow on there, let me know by commenting on this video that you're a new follower on Instagram or Twitter. Council District 1, it was funny. I'd like to hear your thoughts if you find time to cover it on your channel. Yeah, we will definitely be looking into it. Donna Parker just joined as a new member, which is awesome. Donna, thank you. And Be Kind is also a member. You have a great attitude, and prep is always good in life. Yes, I agree. Something that you can take with you in everything is be nice to people, care about people, help people. And what's interesting about a hurricane is when you do try to help people, sometimes they don't want your help. And they don't want to feel like they're putting you out. But when a hurricane's coming or a natural disaster's coming and you offer help, people are much more likely to take it, which I think is nice. And they're much more likely to say, oh, yes, it would be helpful if you would come pull in my patio furniture or whatever it may be, help me secure this or do that. So reach out to your friends if you're in the area and you can help them because it's good. And they'll usually accept it at this point. And let's come together and make sure we're all prepared together, prayed up, ready to go. We'll be in touch, though. Let me know if you guys have anything to say, if you have anything cool to send me. I'll be stuck at home here for the next few days. And if I have internet, I'd love to connect. I'd love to see what you send and maybe hang out some more. So you all stay safe out there. Keep me posted if you're in Florida. Write to me on Instagram and Twitter or on the community page here. Write to me. Let me know that you're safe. And we'll continue doing it together. All right. We will talk very soon.